Most traders don't fail because they're wrong. They fail because they quit at the exact moment things were about to change. There's a phase in trading that almost no one talks about, not because it's rare, but because nearly everyone goes through it, and very few make it past it. It's the phase where nothing seems to work. Your strategy is the same. Your rules haven't changed. You're doing what you're supposed to do, but the results don't come. Trades go nowhere. Setups fail. The market feels random, almost personal, and slowly, something starts to shift. Not in the market, in you. You begin to question things you were once certain about. You start adjusting small details, then slightly bigger ones. Not because you have a better idea, but because you need something to change. This is where most traders believe they're improving, but in reality, this is where they begin to break. Jesse Livermore experienced this more than once. After periods of success, there were long stretches where nothing worked the way it used to. And during those times, he didn't lose because the market changed. He lost because he did. He wrote about the temptation to interfere with positions, to overtrade, to abandon patience, not out of ignorance, but out of pressure. Because doing nothing for long periods of time feels unbearable, especially when you've already proven to yourself that you can win. And this is the trap. The better you've done before, the harder it becomes to accept a period where nothing seems to work. You expect consistency. You expect flow. You expect progress. But the market doesn't move in straight lines, and neither does your performance. There are phases where growth is invisible, where nothing feels like it's improving, where every day looks the same. And this is where most traders quit. Not after a big loss, not after blowing an account, but during a quiet phase where nothing seems to be happening, because that silence feels like failure. But it's not. It's the phase where everything is being tested. Your patience, your belief, your ability to stay consistent without immediate reward. Because trading is one of the few environments where doing the right thing can feel like doing the wrong thing. You follow your rules, you take the setups, you manage risk, and still, nothing happens. And over time, that starts to wear you down. You begin to look for something else, a new strategy, a new system, a new approach, not because the old one doesn't work, but because you can't tolerate the waiting anymore. This is the breaking point. Not dramatic, not obvious. Just a quiet decision to stop doing what you know works and start chasing something that feels better. In the moment, it feels like progress, but in reality, it resets everything and the cycle begins again. New strategy, new hope, same outcome. Because the problem was never the method. It was the inability to stay with it long enough for it to work. The traders who last understand this phase. They don't see it as failure. They see it as part of the process. They expect periods where nothing happens. They expect doubt. They expect discomfort. And because of that, they don't react to it. They stay. They continue executing. They continue following rules, even when there's no immediate proof that it's working, because they understand something most traders never fully accept. Results in trading are delayed. The market doesn't reward you instantly. Sometimes, it tests how long you can stay consistent before it gives you anything back. And that's where the separation happens. Not in the wins, not in the losses, but in the waiting. The traders who quit never see what happens next. The traders who stay eventually do. And when it shifts, it doesn't announce itself. There's no clear moment where everything suddenly clicks, just a gradual return of alignment. Trades begin to work again. Execution feels cleaner. Confidence returns, but quieter this time. Not based on emotion, but on experience. And the ones who made it through that phase never look at trading the same way again. Because they realize the hardest part was never learning how to trade. It was learning how to stay. So if you find yourself in that phase, where nothing seems to work, where doubt is constant, and progress feels invisible, don't rush to change everything, because you might not be stuck. You might be closer than you think, closer than most traders ever get. And the difference between those who make it and those who don't is often just this: who leaves and who stays.